Hello, this is Nate, your host and partner on this journey, and welcome to Outcome Becomes Income. The goal of this channel is to create an all inclusive community to build long term wealth via the stock market. In any 20-year period, the stock market has never lost money and it has outpaced inflation. The barrier to entry has never been lower. Many brokerages no longer charge commissions to buy and sell stock, and with the addition of fractional shares, we can invest with as little as $1. There has never been more options available for us to invest in the market and become part owners of publicly traded companies. With some form of income, a brokerage account, time, and patience, we can invest in a sound financial future together. Please join me as outcome becomes income. Hello, this is Nate with Outcome Becomes Income, and today I want to talk a little bit about leadership. So I've been reading this article and I came across this one about the founder of Terra Luna ecosystem. So Terra Luna is a cryptocurrency, and the founder, his name is Do Kwon. And I'm not too familiar with Terra Luna itself, and I really did not go into the specifics about what is going on with it. But the basis is there's some problems with the cryptocurrency, and he is based out of Singapore. And the article is saying that the Singapore police found that he wasn't in the city or state, and he took to Twitter, and he said that he was cooperating fully with authorities. But one of the things that he says in this tweet is, quote, "I'm not on the run or anything similar." And it just got me thinking that as investors, and regardless if we're talking cryptocurrency or widgets or investments in a publicly traded company, is that something that if we heard a comment from the leader founder of a company, if it would make us confident in owning that investment, that there was potentially wrongdoing and authorities or the Securities and Exchange Commission were investigating, and the owner said, "I'm cooperating," but was not where they were supposed to be in the location, and then said something via Twitter and said, "I'm not on the run or anything," it would make me seem very suspicious. And we're innocent until proven guilty. And again, I don't know what the wrongdoing is, but it would make me question my investment thesis, which gets me to the whole point of what this is about. Part of our investment thesis, when we are looking at a company, a publicly traded one, part of it is our leadership. We can tell a lot about leaders, how they lead. And I want to give some examples here. So basketball, NBA hoops is probably my favorite sport. I don't watch nearly as much hoops these days, and my knowledge about it is probably circled more towards when I was growing up, when I was in a college. But some of my fondest eras are the Bulls championship run. And one of my favorite statistics is thinking about those Bull teams and the early Bulls teams. And when Jordan was on the rise, they were consistently getting beat by Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. So in 1988-89 seasons, the Bulls go 47-35, and they lose the conference finals with Doug Collins. Now, this is a team that has Jordan, Pippen, Craig Hodges, John Paxson off the bench. Horace Grant is power forward. And they make a change after this season, and they get Phil Jackson. It's not the next season, but the year after that. So within 2 years, and mind you, it's the exact same team, same players. And that Bulls team goes 61-21, and they win the title. Now, again, there's another example here with Phil Jackson. Again, in the late 90s, we had the Lakers team. And this was a really fun, exciting team. It had Del Harris as coach. They had Kobe. They just traded for Shaq. They got Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, Robert Horry off the bench. And with Del Harris in the 98-99 season, the Lakers go 61-21, and they lose the conference finals. The next year, they hire Phil Jackson, and they go 67-15, and they win the NBA Finals. Again, the same team. The only thing that has changed is the head coach. And my point being here is that is an example of leadership. We had the exact same pieces in place from the players to the teams they were playing against, to the arena, to away and home games. So what has changed? And Phil Jackson has talked a lot about his triangle system, his Zen philosophy, but I would say that he got not only one team in Michael Jordan and the Bulls to buy into it, but he got a whole nother team and a whole nother set of superstars in Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal to buy into this system too. And he went on to win multiple championships in a row with both teams. So to me, the sports is a way that we can use a lot of things about sports to learn about life and investing. But this is probably the best example to me of what leadership can do. These players are the best. And one of the things that I used to talk with my friends a lot is just like, oh, how easy it is. If I had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, I could coach that team and win. And if I had Shaquille O'Neal and I had Kobe Bryant on the Lakers, I'd be easy to win. Well, ask Del Harris and ask Phil Collins how they, ask Doug Collins how they feel about that. It's not that easy, but Phil Jackson, he did it in two separate scenarios with two separate teams. And again, a lot of egos and superstars and getting them to buy in. So that's what we should be thinking about when we buy companies. And there's no way to really know right away if a leader is bad in business. But there's definitely some red flags you can pick up. And going back to the Terra Luna thing, if you see public statements like that from a leader that says, I'm not on the run, don't worry, I don't have anything to hide, it should at least raise your spidey senses and get you to start thinking and pay attention to it. So there's simple things. The other thing is, if there is clearly wrongdoing, it will make public news. It will be all over the front page. You will hear this. And really, this is where we're tested, is not when no one is looking at you, but when you know that every single person is looking at you, how you respond in those moments, and you can find a lot from leaders. So one of the best examples of this is Jen Sinegal. He's the founder of Costco, a famous leader, and he has the hot dogs that sell for $1.50 for the hot dog and the Coke at Costco. And way back in the 80s, they realized that with inflation, there was no way that they were going to be able to keep the prices at $1.50. So they looked for creative solutions to get it, because most companies would have just raised the prices. But Jen Sinegal and Costco said, no, this is why our customers come to us. They have a shopping experience here. When they're done, they can grab their hot dog and their Coke. It has always been $1.50. It will always be $1.50. So they went out and bought their own meat packing plant so that they could cut costs on those hot dogs and keep them the same. That right there is a visionary leadership, because a lot of people would have said, hey, A of all, we can make more money if we raise the prices. B of all, if people leave, we will have others that come in their place. But no, he was customer-centric first and foremost, and always has been. And now that he's out and Craig Jelinek is in, he's considered those same ideas and philosophies. And that's a really good example of what leadership would be. And you'll find these things out. Again, if there is problems, if there is wrongdoing, you'll find out about it right away if you're paying attention to the news at all. And then we can start to look how leaders react to those issues. But going back to the main point, leadership, it really should be part of our thesis if we're investing in a company. If you're looking at that company and there's been all sorts of problems with the leadership in place, or that there may be some scandals or something, corporate culture, wrongdoing, those are probably real red flags that you would want to maybe stay away from the company, or you could investigate further. Keep it on your watch list and see how they do. The other thing I was going to say is that if you have a long culture of people that have been in those offices and you've never heard from any problems from management or leadership, and the company's been around for a long time and it's established product, then it might be a safer choice to go with, and you can rely on that. But to tie this all together, leadership is one of our theses when we're looking to invest in individual companies. And if we're hearing about or seeing wrongdoing, it definitely is something that we should pay attention, because so goes the leadership, and usually there goes the company too. One of my favorite examples of this is from the book, Good to Great. And it's the idea of a good leader and a bad leader. So the good leader, when he's looking at himself in a mirror and nobody's around and times are bad, he looks in that mirror and he says, what could I have done better? And when he's by himself looking in that mirror and times are really good, he says, this is because I have put quality people in place to help me along. The bad leader, on the other hand, when he is all alone by himself looking in the mirror and times are bad, he says, this is everybody else's fault but mine. And when he's looking in that mirror all by himself and times are really good, he says, this is my results. All this I have done. And that is probably really the best example. And I'll leave it there. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you're listening on a platform like Spotify, Apple, or Google, please leave a rating and review. This will help spread the word and get our message out there. And if there's anyone that you think that can benefit from this content, please share. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just like to drop me a line, please feel free to do so. All feedback is welcome, and I love hearing from listeners. You can follow me on Twitter @BecomesIncome. Drop me a line at email outcomebecomesincome@gmail.com and see what pictures I'm posting on Instagram and TikTok @OutcomeBecomesIncome. This is Nate, and until next time, thank you for being a part of Outcome Becomes Income.